Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Dion, and I'm here back with a daily Fanduel lineup building video for today, January 11th, 2017. Had a pretty successful day. My main lineup hit a 325, cashing on my double ups, cashing pretty much most of my tournaments. Had some JV exposure, Jonas Valanciunas, for you guys that don't know. Um, Only person who really kind of stunk it up for me today was IT2. he didn't he didn't really, I don't want to say he stunk it up for me, but he definitely missed value because pretty much the other point guards at his price outscored him. So like Curry, Lillard, Kemba Walker, and guys like that. So and who else did I have? Had 100. No, I didn't have 100% Kawhi. I had some Kawhi. Of course, he dropped like 50. I had Kyle Lowry. I had some James Johnson. I had Derek Favors. I had Taj Gibson. So those are like some of the core plays in my lineup. Definitely had 100% Jeremy Lamb, and those are just some of the plays I had today, man. So they had a pretty successful day today, man. Hopefully we can continue it on till tomorrow. Anything shorter than 6 game slates, I might have faded cash games, but I'm probably gonna go back to the well today with some cash games. It's a few back to backs. You got Washington, Boston on the back to back. You have Cleveland and Portland on the back to back. So um, some pretty interesting games here, man. So let's just jump right into it, man. We got New York at Philadelphia. We're gonna take a look at some Vegas projected scores. We have one. Okay, Knicks projected for 105. Philly projected for 103. So pretty close spread, man. Knicks only 2 point favorite. So uh, we're gonna look at a few options here, man. Definitely some sneaky tournament option here too that I'll probably look at. So asset reflexes messing me up right now. So we're gonna look at point guard first. We got D Rose at 6.6. Pretty good matchup, man. TJ McConnell's not too bad of a defender, but it'll be interesting to see if he really gets if he logs in the heavy minutes again with Sergio Rodriguez. I think this will be his second game back. Yeah, this will be his second game back. So that might eat into McConnell minutes, and we definitely like D Rose here. The only problem I have with him, even certain of his minute situation, man, because I read he had a little dispute with Jeff Hornacek, man, not too long ago. I think about 2 days ago about being benched in the fourth quarter for freaking Ron Baker against the Pacers. So definitely keep an eye on, man. Hopefully, we never know. You don't want to get Jeff Hornacek, man. So definitely gotta keep an eye on that. But if McConnell, if we read that McConnell's gonna still see the 30 minutes that he's been seeing, definitely even at 5,400. You might get me to play him in a tournament, probably not so much cash games, but I like Brandon Jennings and against Philly. I could see this being a situation where he gets about 22. He's probably gonna get somewhere around 22 plus minutes, and in a game like this, he could probably go off for about 25. So tournament option really, just because D Rose is back, and we're just gonna pray for another random D Rose benching, so or random D Rose no show. So Brandon Jennings is gonna be like 10% owned. People are really gonna bank on that. So I like him just because of sense. I don't like him at this price though. Maybe 42 to 45. You might have got me to roster him at, but at 4.9, I'm probably gonna fade for the most part. But pretty good matchup. So I won't knock it. And we're gonna take a look at the live chat, see if anybody's in here. Let's see. Okay, my guy Cornelius in here. I use one line Dragic, George Hill let me down. Yeah, man, those two guys pretty much disappointed. I think I had Dragic and George Hill in one lineup, and both those lineups cashed, if I'm not mistaken. I know one of my lineups that either had Dragic or George Hill didn't cash. One of those lineups, but yeah, both those guys disappointed. But for the most part, still did pretty good, so I can't complain. Yeah, next we'll move on to the shooting guards. Courtney Lee, this guy's just pretty much non-playable for me. Uh, Had a great matchup against Buddy Hill. 28 minutes got you under 10 FanDuel points. So we just can't play this guy, man. You just gotta pray for the best if you play Courtney Lee. A lot of these shooting guards and stuff has been seeing minutes, so they're splitting a bunch of minutes here. So won't play any of these guys. Covington is a guy I think will be sneaky here because with those guys healthy, buy into his minutes, but he's still playing 30 plus. And in the game we has to guard Melo, where he's probably their best perimeter defender, he's definitely going to see 35 plus minutes because that's how much Melo's probably going to see. So definitely got to like Covington here, even at 5.5. A tournament option only for me because man, this team's starting to get healthy, man. They got a lot of all the bigs are healthy and they're pretty much the usage guys. So yeah, cover 10 tournament option only. So that's just how I'm looking at it. As far as the bigs go, I'm probably Melo. I really would have to see who else is on the slate, but right, just looking at it for face value, I'm not really high on Melo at 8K versus cover 10. But we're gonna take a look at some of the other small forwards. Um, we got Porzingis at 8K. I'm not too high on that, man. Especially if well, they haven't really been doing. They put MB back at center. I think they stopped messing around with the Jalil Okafor MB combo. Let's see what's projected. Sticking with MB at center, no more power forward. So, Porzingis versus Ersan, pretty interesting. Ersan's at a freaking price, but he does have upside. And it's a 6 game slate, so we're gonna have to take a look at the other power forward options. But right now, I'm not really too high on this game. Joel Embiid is always in play, but 7,500's interesting, man. I will say that's interesting. Centers have been having some pretty decent games. Well, the bigs have been having some pretty decent games versus the Knicks lately. So a lot of these guys are definitely in play. Joel Embiid probably in play, and Joakim Noah. Mm, I think with Porzingis back, we can't bank on solid minutes, so I'll look elsewhere. And that's pretty much just my thoughts on that game. I'm gonna try to skim through this a little faster too. I'm not gonna go super in depth today, just because it's a 6 game slate. If you guys want, you guys can hit me up on Twitter _D Jr. and we can talk about some plays. So hi, what's good? Team Venom. Hey, what's up, Dave? My guy David's in here, so appreciate that, man. So next game on the slate we have Washington at Boston. Let's take a look at the Vegas projected scores if we have one. Game's not up. No score for that. So we just pretty much predict they'll probably say 106 to probably be something like 106 to 104. Let's take a look at some DVP as well. See what you guys actually want to refresh that. See where Washington Boston ranks. We all know John Wall's pretty good, so Washington's pretty good versus the point guard. And Boston, I miss Boston. Okay, yeah, they're pretty much middle pack, a little closer to top 10 defensively, man. But we love picking on IT2. But John Wall on the back-to-back seems a little trappy, man. I will say that. So let's just take a look at some of the defensive rating stats real quick. Let's take a look at the prices and everything like that. So you got IT2 at 8,900, John Wall at 95. I just skimmed through. I just looked at some of the other point guards on the slate, man. I've seen a little bit more upside there from other point guards. So for the most part, tournament options for me, and both of them being on back to backs, just has me a little worried around those prices. So there's a few other guys that I like at point guard today, but for the most part, I think these guys are in pretty good spots. IT2 not so much. You could talk me back into Marcus Smart. If freaking Avery Bradley doesn't play it, if he doesn't play tomorrow. So he's been dealing with an Achilles injury. He was ruled out way earlier in the day. So I'm probably certain that he doesn't play tomorrow. So we could probably go back to the well with Marcus Smart in cash games. I definitely played him cash. He was only about 22% or something like that, which I found weird. But yeah, he's definitely probably gonna be about 50 today now. I said John Wall, pretty good spot. I'm not paying him or playing him until he goes under 65. You just can't really rely on this guy for the most part. Let's see what he did today. 24. He's just so scoring dependent, man. I feel like this guy's gonna go off for like 30 points. I'm just not gonna play him. Pretty much scoring dependent. Poor man's DeRozan. So we'll look elsewhere. Otto Porter's price has come down. Jay Crowder in a pretty good spot, man. I just like fast-paced games, man. Even though they're probably a little bit on tired legs, I'm just gonna try to get some of the cheap guys from this game just because I know the defense. They're probably not gonna play much defense as well. Markeith in a pretty good spot. Let's see what he did today. He got 29. This dude is averaging 24 Fanduel points a game. And all we need, and dude, damn, he only played 22 minutes, which is surprising. He must have been in foul trouble like he usually is. But man, when this guy gets 30 minutes, he's probably almost a lock for 25 points here. And this is pretty much a good spot against Boston. Let's take a look at DVP, see how they fare versus power forwards. Uh, right. So right now we're looking at their fourth words versus power forwards. Markieff Morris, pretty solid option, man. You just got to worry about that goddamn foul trouble. And for the most part, these Boston Celtic bigs are unplayable. Al Horford, I'm not paying above 7K for him in this spot. I'm just not too high on him, especially on the back-to-back here. So 35 minutes. He hits his ceiling once in a while, but I just don't think this is a spot. So I'm looking to fade Igor Tata 6.4. I played JV today versus Horford, so and Gortat's pretty much seeing the same, seeing if not more. Well, he actually is playing more minutes than JV. So if he gets 42, well, I think that game went to overtime. So if he gets 37 versus Boston, this could be actually a great game for him. So I'm looking towards him as well. So Gortat, definitely like him, man. Tournament option for me so far. Let's see. Let me look at his FanDuel points, see what he's been doing lately. 25, 20, 33. The only thing that I don't like about him is that it's a few other guys on this team with pretty decent matchups. So to eat can eat into Marcin Gortat's production. So let's take a look back at it. Oh crap, clicked the wrong one. Got to roll with Smart again if Bradley out. Yeah, man. I like Noel. Let me take a look at Noel real quick. 4.6. Nah, not with Jalil Okafor and all these other guys playing. But he's definitely a high energy guy, man. So you could probably luck into 25 points in like 25 minutes if he even gets that. So, but I'm not gonna bank on it. Just pretty much going to the next game, Memphis at OKC. Ah, this is a tough decision. I have to take a look at Westbrook's price before we make any decision on him. I can't do it, man. I just can't do it versus Mike Conley and Tony Allen. I can't do it. So, um, Memphis is a pretty solid defensive unit. They just came off a game where they actually beat freaking Golden State, man. So these guys aren't anybody to play around with. I feel like the pace has been picked up a little bit from last year's pace, especially with them going with Jermichael Green in the starting lineup. For the most part, I really just don't pick on these guys unless it's value guys. And I don't know if there's much value to go around here. You got freaking Steven Adams at his peak price. Like most Steven Adams probably will go up to is like 6,500. He's not more than a 6,500 type of talent. Who else we have? Ennis Cantor's at 57 in the slow pace game. Never gonna play Andre Roberson. Oladipo at 5.8 versus Tony Allen or Mike Conley, whoever they decide to put on, whichever player. So I'm pretty much this game's probably almost a fade for me to tell you the truth. Gasol's at peak price. Zebo's at peak price. Like they're all at their peak price, and I don't think this is gonna be a fast paced game. So I'm gonna fade it. Mike Conley at peak price. So all of these guys are like at their ceiling prices. So I'm probably gonna fade it for the most part. So I don't think there's much equity here, fantasy equity. So let's just see, 100 to 104. Yeah, OKC maybe because OKC's at home, they're giving them that little bit of the edge there. But I'm just not seeing it. I would definitely take the under in this game. I can see it I can see this being like 101 to 99 the most. So Uh, that's it for me, man. We're gonna move on to the next game now. Houston at Minnesota. Houston, man. Houston on second night of a back-to-back traveling to Minnesota, man. Now this is where it gets tricky because I really love Levine versus James Harden, but he's dealing with a hip injury. So let's see if we have any news on that. Oh shit. Hamilton, he's a limited participant in practice, so there's a solid chance he might play, and there's definitely some you definitely gotta love freaking Cat, man. Cat versus this undersized unit, man. Man, 9,500 is a steep price, but like he's I think he's dropping another 50 bombs. So I gotta have my exposure here, man. Montrezl Harrell's 6'8". They're probably gonna start in the nade for that reason. for a bigger body against him, but he's gonna cook him as well. There's really nobody on the team that could guard him, so just lock Cat in today. I don't even know what else to tell you about that, but lock in Cat. If Levine is out, or that minimum price is looking like a good option, then you have Wiggins, who's probably gonna have the second highest usage in this game. If Levine is out, I think he already has the second highest usage on the team. So let's just take a look real quick. Not gonna go deep into the defensive ratings and stuff like that today, but Levine 22.7 usage, Andrew Wiggins 28.6, and Karl Anthony Towns 27.9. So Wiggins actually has the highest usage on this team. So Levine is out. Maybe Wiggins against Ariza at 6.3. I don't know, man. Maybe, but definitely like Shabazz if Levine is out. I really love Karl Anthony Towns. I think he's an easy 50 tomorrow. Side of the ball, of course, you gotta love James Harden. 12.4 though, on the second night of a back-to-back. I don't know if I could do that, but if there's no other good shooting guards on the slate, you just have to play it, man, because he's probably the safest shooting guard for 50 right now. So I looked at. So I think we could pretty much move on to the next game. Eric Gordon was out today. That should definitely give him even more usage, man. Well, I want to see who took up for Eric Gordon minutes actually. 40. Wow. Okay. See what Sam Decker got. 21. Corey Brewer. 26. So I guess you could probably say Corey Brewer advantage of those missing minutes by freaking Eric Gordon today. So he's probably gonna get the bump there. So maybe you could look at him in the tournament. He just had 22 FanDuel points. Let me look at it again. Yeah, 22 FanDuel points here at men price. So maybe he might start tomorrow, or well, he's not gonna start tomorrow. Patrick Beverly's healthy, but maybe he might get some good run there tomorrow, man. Especially with some tired legs of these guys in the starting lineup. How much did Beverly play? 32. Beverly, man, I don't understand why his price won't come down, man. I just can't pay over 5,500 for Beverly. I really been wanting to play him the last few days, but that price Rubio, if he's gonna have one of his fake games, like look at this 48, and then I feel like he had another. Oh yeah, 42. You want to bank on that, especially against Patrick Beverly defense. But he's not a guy who really needs to get all his points with actual points. He gets in steals, assists, and rebounds. So, and if he gets 10 plus points, he's definitely him. He's definitely him 6 times value. So Rubio's looking like a solid option, man. Just because he doesn't really need to score to get his value. But if so, for the most part, give me Cat, give me Harden, mm. And the rest of these guys pretty much like a tournament flyer, I guess. But I'm just not getting behind that. So, what do you guys think? Gotta play Conley, game log looking good. Could be a narrative game. Westbrook got ejected last game and now he's home. Yeah, I think that's probably why they're giving him the 104 bump. If it was in Memphis, it'd probably be the over under probably be a little lower. But I don't know, man. I'm just not buying into playing these. Well, I'm definitely not buying into playing it's a trap game for some reason. I just do think a lot. I think he's probably going to be around 25+% owned in tournaments, especially because of what he's been doing lately. But this dude's been producing, man. I will give him that. He got 35 in a slow paced game versus Utah. Got 50 against Golden State in OT. Got 40 versus the Clippers. I think Chris Paul was still out at that time. And even before he was 7,200, he got 36. I think he was somewhere around like 65 at that time. So he's definitely been getting you that 5 times value. But can we bank on that upside here today, man? Because for the most part, so let's see where OKC ranks in DVP. So they're bottom 10. So maybe you get some Conley here. Let's see the actual points they're giving up per game to point guards. OKC, so about 21.8. Conley's gonna get 35 plus minutes, probably even more than that because of Westbrook. But I don't know, man. I will have to think long and hard about that one, man. But the DVP says it's a good play, and let's take a look at Conley's usage. So let's see what it's looking like. Okay, so Conley has a why can't I find it? 25.7 usage rate. That's not bad. That's not bad. About that. So tournament option for me for the most part, man. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say he's a horrible play. I just don't think he's a great play. So next we have Orlando at LAC, man. To face the Los Angeles Clippers. So of course you love Chris Paul here, man. This guy probably has one of the best matchups of the day. Let's take a look at his price. 9,200, man. Come on, man. You just giving me 9,200 for Chris Paul in the game that probably has a decent chance to stay close. Let's see if there's a Vegas projected score for that. Clippers 109.25, whatever. I'm just gonna say 109. To Orlando's 99. Any game that's within 10 for me and Chris Paul, his usage, I gotta play him. So he's pretty much a lot for me for cash games. I'll just lock him in there. 9,200, damn, it's pretty cheap. And he's probably going to get 32 to 35 minutes here. Can't go wrong there. But there are some pretty decent options here I'm going to talk about in this next game. But right now, like Chris Paul, probably one of the safest point guards of the day. You got freaking Austin Rivers, who's been having some fake games at 4,400 versus Orlando. He's starting at the I'm not actually sure. So anybody who's been watching the Clippers games, is Austin Rivers starting at the 2 or the 3? It says at the 2, and JJ Redick's been playing at 3. Um, The reason sometimes I don't really trust RotoWire because they list Giannis as the point guard on here or the shooting guard sometimes. And when you go to freaking the Bucks Twitter page when they put out the lineup, so if you watch the beginning of the Bucks games and they show the lineup on the graphic on the TV screen, it always has Giannis at the 3. So uh, for I feel like RotoWire be lying sometimes. So let me know, man, if Austin Rivers is actually starting at the 2 or the 3. But right now, for the most part, I love Austin Rivers versus Evan Fournier, man. Austin Rivers is gonna kill him. Let's see if his minutes. If he's gonna play 36 minutes, boy, you got to play Austin Rivers, man. Even alongside Chris Paul, just a pretty good matchup, man. Feel like there might be some bias with Doc Rivers giving his son that many minutes, but definitely a tournament option for me. We can pretty much move on here. JJ Redick, probably not gonna do it, man. Just can't get behind it. Jamal Crawford can't get behind it now that all these guys are healthy. And they're playing a lot of small ball, so I think that's what's helping a lot of these guys for the most part. So it's making a pretty easy game for these guys. Let's take a look at Aaron Gordon, what his minutes are looking like. Nope, unplayable. We also see Alfred Payne's a game time decision. Let's take a look. Except for the quad injury. Let's see Roto World, man. Let's see if there's anything about him going to practice or something like that. Okay, if Payne can't play, damn, it's nothing really saying he didn't practice or anything like that. Yeah, so for the most part, maybe Alfred Payne doesn't play, but I hope he does just so the game has some sort of chance of staying close. I think if he's out, this game's definitely a blowout. So um Alfred Payne, please play so I could play Chris Paul and possibly Austin Rivers. I never played DeAndre Jordan there. Vucevic, if he was under 6,500, you might be able to talk me into him off the bench against these guys. But that's about it, man. I'm not really like too much of these guys. Serge Ibaka's a game time decision that might open up some more minutes for Vucevic if he's out. Okay, he did not practice on Tuesday, so it's probably not looking too good for him here. And actually, that kind of makes me like Aaron Gordon because he'll probably see some minutes at the 4. You could probably sneak in Jeff Green for the revenge narrative. He'll probably see an uptake in minutes somewhere around 25 to 28 as well. So, some pretty sneaky options here, man. And that's about it for me. So from the Magic side, Aaron Gordon, you could probably talk me into Evan Fournier, man. If uh freaking Alfred Payne's out too, his usage is gonna be through the roof. He's probably gonna be chalky too. And Austin Rivers in tournaments, Chris Paul in cash. I like him for cash tournaments as well. And that's about it for me. So we got one more game on the slate, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and that's Cleveland at Portland. I'm not gonna get into the supers. I'm not gonna get on into all those statistics. Both these teams are on the back-to-back. Cleveland's coming off a loss. Portland just won. I think they were in Los Angeles, so Portland traveling back home today. Damian Lillard versus Kyrie. This is just one of those games that I think if this is like a nationally televised game, man, you know Damian Lillard's gonna try to put on a show. So you just gotta have some Dame dollar exposure. Let's take a look at his price, 9K. Think he was 8,900 today, only went up 100. So let's see what he did today. Actually, now he played 31 minutes, got you 38.6. Not too much here, but maybe could be reserving some of that energy here for today's game. Um, Probably is looking ahead on the schedule, man. So definitely look out for Dame Dollar go off here. We all know Dame Dollar doesn't play any defense as well, so we definitely like some Kyrie. So let's look at Portland defensive rating real quick. See what you guys are talking about. Doc never gives 35 plus minutes. I hate playing Paul. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, for some strange reason, even with Blake Griffin, they've blown out a few teams. So really there's really never been no need for Doc to give CP3 35 plus minutes because the bench usually holds it down. They don't get blown out either, which is weird. So um don't need to really give Chris Paul 35 plus minutes. He's getting older and they're in almost all of their games are close. So uh you can pretty much reserve this guy. Also, like I said, I like Kyrie Irving, Dame Dollar. Probably not gonna play McCollum. McCollum's just so unplayable at that price. Got LeBron at 10.1 again. That he's definitely in play. I feel like he kills Portland all the time. And then Kevin Love, the guy who scored. How much did he score on these guys in one quarter? Was it? Damn. Oh, we can actually. How many? Yo, I really want to look it up because I want to see. I want to see how much he scored on them. This is the game where I think he had like 70 Fanduel points or 60, something crazy like that. So we're gonna scroll through this game log till we find it. So he finished with 40, but I think he had uh 11. That was on 11 November 23rd. So we're gonna just to make this video longer. I don't know why. I'm gonna just scroll all the way to the 11th 23rd news, November 23rd. We can't even go back that far. So yeah, Kevin Love. Just know he's in play, man. Portland's one of the worst teams against power forwards as far as DVP goes. Kevin Love, I don't know how much I want to trust him. I feel like he has went off since that stomach virus he caught. But yeah, we're looking at it, and Portland is the worst team versus power forwards in the NBA. So Kevin Love is definitely in play. So a lot of these Cavs in play, man. Even Tristan Thompson under 5K, tournament option only. Let's see what he had today. I think he had a pretty decent game. Oh no, maybe yeah, he did. So he hit value today. He had 27 against Utah. So, and that's a pretty solid defensive unit as well. So, you definitely talked me into a few of these plays. Alfred Aminu, mm, maybe because he's had a few good games too, and he's at a pretty reasonable price right now. He's probably gonna play over 30 minutes because even though he's listed as the power forward, I think there's a good chance he actually guards LeBron today, and Mo Harkless guards Kevin Love. So we'll see what happens there. But definitely think he sees 30 plus minutes. And his last 4 games, he has scored over 25 FanDuel points. So that's definitely around. He's definitely averaging about 6 times value here. So in his last 4. So gotta like Aminu. Plumlee, nah, I can't get behind Plumlee here. And that's about it for me, man. So let me know what you guys think, man. We're not gonna make the actual lineup here, but just showing you guys a few guys that I like for today. So good defender at the 4 now. LeBron and Lillard for sure. Yeah, LeBron. I feel like it's a nationally televised game, so Lillard's really gonna try to show out, man, just because he doesn't get that love nationally. So that's about it for me, man. I just wanted to make this video type quick and everything. So just hit me up on Twitter if anything. I'll get to your questions. And yeah, hopefully we cast today, man. Hopefully you guys did it good as well. Hopefully my advice actually leads to you winning some money. So that's about it, man. I'm out of here. Peace.